They were supposed to be unstoppable, Hollywood's golden couple, but something strange is happening. Ryan Reynolds' next blockbuster has vanished from the release calendar, Blake Lively is entangled in a whirlwind of PR disasters, and Warner Brothers is staying suspiciously silent. What's really going on behind the curtain? Just weeks before its slated release, Animal Friends, a major R-rated animated and live-action crossover starring Ryan Reynolds, Aubrey Plaza, Jason Momoa, and others, was quietly delayed. 7 whole months, no trailer, no posters, no marketing buzz, nothing but a date change. A move this drastic isn't just business, it reeks of something more personal, and fans can sense it. Hollywood insiders are whispering. Could the delay really be because of post-production issues, or is it a strategic move to shield the film from a growing storm? One swirling around Blake Lively, Reynolds' wife, it's starting to look like the chaos in her personal life might be spilling into his professional world. Let's break this down. On the surface, Warner Brothers blamed scheduling conflicts for pushing Animal Friends from October to May. That might sound reasonable. After all, October's crowded with big-name releases like Jennifer Lopez's new movie and Disney's next Tron installment. But here's the thing. Studios lock in release dates years in advance. They know the competition. They strategize around it. So why backpedal now? The answer might lie off the red carpet. Blake Lively has found herself in the eye of a PR storm involving her fractured friendships, a supposed revenge squad, and rumors of a major falling out with none other than Taylor Swift. Reports suggest that Lively's legal team made questionable contact with Swift's inner circle, sparking shockwaves that reached Taylor's father and allegedly led to a complete rift. Other close friends like Jiggy Hadid have gone suspiciously silent. And in Hollywood, silence can speak volumes. Behind the scenes, whispers are growing louder. Sources say that Lively is scrambling to control the narrative. She's aligning with her sisters, forming a girl squad to rebuild her image. But to some, it looks like desperation, a way of telling Hollywood she's still here, still powerful, but is it working? If you ask Warner Brothers, the answer might be not yet. A high-profile release like Animal Friends lives and dies by optics. With Blake's name trending for all the wrong reasons, studios could be hitting pause to let the heat die down, because one bad headline can derail months of marketing, and Animal Friends, despite its big cast and quirky appeal, has yet to show even a teaser, an ominous sign in this industry. Adding fuel to the fire is Reynolds' silence. The usually witty, PR-savvy star hasn't said a word about the delay. He's made no public statements, no vague tweets, not even a meme. That silence feels calculated, as if he's been told, lay low until this blows over. And maybe that's smart. Hollywood favors discretion, but it also invites speculation, and speculation is running wild. Rumors swirl that even Disney is nervous. Insiders say top execs, possibly even Bob Iger himself, have encouraged Reynolds to distance himself from the drama. The concern that Deadpool 3, another massive project Reynolds is attached to, could get overshadowed by messy personal headlines. Studios invest hundreds of millions into these projects. They don't want them tainted. Even Reynolds' social media activity is telling. He's turned off comments on posts, something he's rarely done before, the kind of move that signals concern for backlash, concern for reputation. Meanwhile, in a possibly strategic pivot, Ryan Reynolds has linked arms with Hugh Jackman, his longtime friend and occasional on-screen rival, to buy an Australian competitive sailing team. On paper, it's a smart investment. Off paper, it might be more, a distraction, a headline swap, a way to remind the world that Reynolds is still playing with the big boys and distancing himself from the PR circus his wife might have unleashed. And yes, we said might, because in Hollywood, perception is everything, even when facts are still murky. Studios have a long history of shelving or delaying projects when scandal brews too close to the cast. From last-minute reshoots to total rebrandings, they'll do what it takes to protect their bottom line. Remember all the money in the world. When Kevin Spacey's scandal erupted, they recast and reshot major scenes in a matter of weeks. The stakes are that high, so the delay of Animal Friends isn't just a simple bump in the schedule. It's a strategic move in a larger game of Hollywood chess. One where Blake Lively's drama, her legal battles, her social media cold wars, and her strained A-list relationships may be weighing heavily on studio decision making. Whether or not she's directly involved in the movie, her shadow looms large. And that's a problem, because in today's social media age, controversy doesn't stay in one lane. Fans have digital megaphones, they're vocal, they're loyal, and if Blake's situation continues to sour, even Ryan's fans might start asking tough questions. And if the gossip mills keep churning, a clean marketing campaign might be impossible. Warner Brothers knows this. They've seen how fast a tweet can become a headline, how fast a scandal can eclipse a film. So they're waiting, watching, hoping that by May the narrative will have shifted, that Blake's headlines will be yesterday's news, that Ryan's movie can debut with fresh air instead of smoke. But there's a risk. Delaying a film doesn't guarantee the public will forget. In fact, it can do the opposite, giving more time for the speculation to simmer, for fans to connect more dots, for journalists to dig deeper. And let's not ignore another angle. There's real talk of divorce. Multiple sources hint that the Reynolds Lively union may not survive the storm. Whether it's true or not, Hollywood is buzzing, and buzz, even when unconfirmed, changes everything. If Blake and Ryan are heading toward a split, it adds a whole new layer to the Animal Friends delay. No studio wants to be caught in the emotional aftermath of a Hollywood breakup while trying to promote a feel-good animated romp. Especially not one with such a large ensemble and a hefty price tag. For now, Reynolds seems focused on business. He's still sealing deals, still keeping ties with power players like Larry Ellison, still smiling for cameras at the right events. But make no mistake, behind the smile, the stakes are sky high, because in this business, one misstep, one poorly timed press cycle can undo years of branding, and Ryan Reynolds' brand, it's polished. Profitable, carefully curated, it's not something he or his backers are willing to gamble. So what's next? We wait for the trial, for Blake's next move, for Warner Brothers to finally release a trailer, for Reynolds to break his silence or not. One thing's for sure, this delay isn't just about scheduling, it's about control, about optics, about survival in a Hollywood that's more cutthroat than ever. Because in Tinseltown, the truth rarely walks the red carpet. It hides in the shadows, behind NDA, carefully worded statements, and deafening silences, and when it finally shows up, it's usually too late to run. But perhaps the most compelling part of this unfolding saga isn't just about one movie delay or one public scandal. It's about how fragile a Hollywood empire can be, even when it seems unshakable. Let's be honest. Ryan Reynolds, for years, has been viewed as one of Hollywood's untouchable success stories, from his iconic Deadpool persona to his billion-dollar business ventures to his social media mastery. He's made all the right moves. Every post, every press moment, every endorsement has been part of a larger strategy, building the image of a man who can do no wrong. But what happens when that strategy meets something he can't control? That's what makes this moment so pivotal, because even if Reynolds himself is staying silent, Hollywood isn't. Executives, insiders, journalists, they're all asking the same questions. Can Ryan weather this storm? Can Animal Friends still find its audience? Will Blake's fallout become his? This is more than a gossip headline. This is a real-time case study in reputation management, one where stakes aren't measured in followers, but in box office dollars, stockholder confidence, and long-term career prospects. You see, timing is everything in Hollywood. But what studios like Warner Brothers are doing now isn't just about dodging a bad news cycle, it's about rewriting the narrative before it's too late. Delaying a film like Animal Friends is a calculated play to regain control of the public conversation. By waiting until May, the hope is that audiences will shift their attention to something else, that the scandals will fade, that the buzz will build around the movie itself, not the messy context it was born into. But there's no guarantee that plan will work. Social media doesn't forget as quickly as it used to. Fans today are hyper-aware, hyper-engaged, and hyper-vocal. They don't just consume entertainment, they dissect it. And if Blake Lively's headlines continue to dominate the digital space, they'll cling to Ryan Reynolds by association, whether he likes it or not. It's the cost of celebrity in 2025, and let's not forget how this situation impacts everyone else involved in the project. Animal Friends isn't a one-man show. Aubrey Plaza, Jason Momoa, Addison Rae, Dan Levy, Rob Delaney, these are talented, bankable stars whose careers also hang in the balance. A 7-month delay affects their promotional calendars, their awards campaigns, their reputations, and their momentum. This isn't just Ryan's problem anymore, it's the entire cast's. And what about the creatives behind the scenes? The animators, editors, producers, sound designers, people whose livelihoods are tied to the successful rollout of this film. A delay of this scale sends ripple effects across hundreds of jobs, press plans, and future opportunities. It's a logistical nightmare and a morale crusher. So when we say the delay of Animal Friends is significant, we mean it on every level, from studio executives down to the last assistant on set. It matters. What also matters is how this situation becomes a cautionary tale for the entire industry. Studios are watching, actors are watching, managers, agents, and publicists are watching. Everyone is taking notes. The lesson: personal drama doesn't stay personal, not anymore. The line between a celebrity's professional and private life has been erased. A legal feud, a messy friendship breakup, a stray comment caught on a hot mic, any of it can tank a multi-million-dollar rollout. And while the old-school Hollywood system once protected its stars with airtight PR and hush money, today's Hollywood is different. It's transparent, it's ruthless, and it's always listening. That's why this moment isn't just pivotal for Ryan Reynolds, it's transformational. How he handles the next few months could determine the trajectory of his career. He's at a crossroads. One wrong move and the golden boy image he's worked years to craft could be permanently cracked. One well-played step, and he might emerge from this even stronger, seen as resilient, composed, and unshaken. So far, his strategy seems to be silence, and that might be smart. Sometimes, not reacting is more powerful than any statement, but time will tell if that silence turns into strength or suspicion. Meanwhile, Blake Lively's story is far from over. The revenge squad, rumors, the fallout with Taylor Swift, the mysterious legal disputes, they're still unfolding, and with every new development, the pressure on Reynolds increases. Even if he's not involved, the world is connecting the dots for him, which begs the question, can any Hollywood couple survive this level of scrutiny? History tells us, maybe not. From Brad and Angelina to Johnny and Amber, public perception can make or break even the most glamorous relationships. And if whispers of a pending divorce are even remotely true, the Animal Friends delay may just be the first domino to fall. The studios know this, the agents know this, and somewhere deep down, Ryan Reynolds likely knows it too. Because this isn't just about one film, it's about the brand of Ryan Reynolds, a brand that includes being a reliable lead, a witty spokesperson, a shrewd entrepreneur, and most importantly, a relatable, likable guy. If that brand starts to fracture, the consequences won't be limited to Animal Friends. They'll echo into his endorsements, his business ventures, his future films, and even his public legacy. And here's where things get even more interesting. Hollywood may forgive scandal, but only when it's handled well. Think Robert Downey Jr. or Kristen Stewart, stars who took hits and bounced back, largely because they controlled the fallout, showed growth, and rebuilt trust. So far, Ryan Reynolds has shown restraint, but will he pivot? Will he eventually speak? Will Blake? If they do, their tone will be everything, too defensive and it might backfire, too vague and it may feel manipulative. But if they can strike the right balance between candor and control, they might still steer this ship back on course. As for Animal Friends, its fate remains in limbo. Will May bring a successful release? Will audiences embrace it, or will the baggage be too heavy? There's no easy answer. What we do know is this: Warner Brothers has made a high-stakes bet, and the clock is ticking. In the end, this story is bigger than just a movie. It's a window into the inner workings of modern Hollywood, the deals, the drama, the power plays. It's a reminder that celebrity is a double-edged sword, that fame, no matter how glittering, comes with a price, and that sometimes even the brightest stars can get caught in the shadows. So what's next? Well, the headlines aren't slowing down, the rumors aren't dying out, and the speculation is only getting stronger. All eyes are on Ryan, all ears are listening for Blake, and Animal Friends, once just another quirky comedy in the studio pipeline, has become the epicenter of one of Hollywood's most fascinating tangled stories. Will this movie be the comeback hit that reasserts Reynolds' dominance, or will it be the first casualty in a much bigger unraveling? We'll find out soon enough, but for now, the only thing we can say for certain is this: Hollywood never sleeps. And neither does the drama, so stay tuned because this story is far from over.